serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletic.
Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
The cliche goes, defense wins championships. Cliches are based in fact. In fact, sometimes they're absolute fact. I don't know if it's absolute, but it's certainly based in it. Defense wins championships. And the thought going into last night was Houston was the best defensive team, and they still may be. But when it mattered, Houston clamped down. Florida clamped down. Florida clamped down on defense. Florida had a defensive stand. Florida forced Houston into a mistake. And Florida cut down the nets. Good morning, boys and girls. The college basketball season has come to a conclusion. It wrapped up last night in San Antonio, Texas, with an epic finish to a game that was very good. Florida is your national champion. Houston, heartbroken. It's the opening drive. Good morning to you, boys and girls. Thank you for being here. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What's up?
Lots. Lots. I don't know, and we didn't go over in the pregame or in the production meeting this morning our thoughts necessarily on the game. I'm interested in hearing yours raw. But I looked at it, and there's a lot of things. My Ryan stat of the day, and Ryan dug this up for us. In the Final Four, the team leading at the final TV timeout lost all of 3 Final Four games, which is pretty crazy in its own right. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought Houston brought a boulder to a rock fight in the first half. And watching that game, it was, you can have one thing, but you can't have everything. And Houston is the best defensive team.
I think
Even losing that game, they're still the best defensive team. They have one creator, and that bit them in the backside, the final 4 possessions where they turned it over, because outside of L.J. Cryer, they did not know what to do to get in the offense. And late game crunch time situation, it hurt them. Now they flipped the script on Duke and put the pressure on Duke to collapse at the end of the game. But down the stretch, Florida was able to do enough because there was no one that was going to break them down. Outside of L.J. Cryer going off the dribble, there was not any other shot makers on Houston. And at the very end, you saw what happened down the stretch. Finally, Walter Clayton hit a couple shots.
No.
Drove inside and won. Ball movement just enough from Florida. But Houston, with the game on the line, could not get a shot up. And I don't have a problem with going for the win in that situation. They were hunting for the 3. Didn't get it. And here we are.
Ended up in the hands of Emmanuel Sharp. And, in fact, it was Walter Clayton Jr. who closed on him as he went up for the jump shot and had it come down. And if he'd have picked up the ball, it would have been a travel. And as the ball just bounced and bounced and tick and tick and tick. And you watch at the very end, Alex Condon jumps on the ball, and it was over. And I thought Kelvin Sampson's reaction, or lack thereof, was just iconic almost, right? Here's a guy who grinded his whole life, and I don't know how many chances he's going to get again. A lot of people thought he might win and walk away. He might retire. Was he 68, 69, something like that?
69. Yeah.
From Washington State to Indiana to Oklahoma to out of the game to rebuilding Houston, and had a chance and had a team that he felt was built to do it, and they were. As good as Florida is offensively, they play defense too. They didn't get there without playing defense, and that is a good, resilient team. That was the team I had my bracket, cutting down the nets at the end. I had them beating Duke in the final game, which I know it's not novel. I know a lot of people did.
It was a chalky tournament. These were the best teams.
Yeah. I thought the best team won. I had a weird feeling Houston would win because they've been grinding it out. Somebody asked me right before the game. I said, I've been picking Florida the whole way, but literally right before tip, I'm like, my gut's telling me Houston's going to find a way to pull this out the way they've been doing things. I felt for Kelvin Sampson at the end. I did. I just that shot. There was no stomping. There was no screaming. There was just a head coach staring in disbelief of what just happened. And maybe it wasn't even disbelief. I don't want to pretend I know what was going through Kelvin Sampson's head. And then on the other side, jubilation. JJ, it was a fascinating ending to that game. You mentioned Walter Clayton Jr., who couldn't get going all day, in large part because of the defense of Emmanuel Sharp.
Houston.
Yeah.
The way they were trailing him off screen,
I thought it was
had 2
terrific.
people in him. He was frustrated early, just launching stuff in the first half. And you win a national championship because you're a top 10 offense and defense. And you look at Houston's metrics for as bad as they looked at times, it's still a top 15 offense this season in college basketball. But when it got tight, you saw the difference in the game. It's Florida's good defensively, and there was no one offensively for Houston.
Yeah, to your point, you got to find ways to score, right? We went into the tournament saying, okay, how the Lobos going to score, right? When Denton and Ornelli get shut down, who else is going to score? Game 1 they did, game 2 they didn't, and it's exactly what happened to Houston. I give a ton of credit to the defense that was played last night by Emmanuel Sharp. I thought he was really, really good on Clayton. He was terrific. They probably
Houston hit 3 more field goals than Florida in a rock fight, where Florida shot 39% from the floor. Houston shot 34% from the floor. I did not like, though, the 180 we saw in the game from the tone that was set in the first half, where there was only 4 foul calls, and all of a sudden everything became a foul.
Yeah. I didn't have a problem with the officiating. I thought it was. I
don't know how you go for 4 in the first half to 4 in the first.
I guess I'd have to go back and watch it. I guess I don't feel that there were a lot of calls that were missed.
There was missed calls, but you're setting a certain tone of physicality, letting them play, and then you just completely do a 180 on it.
Yeah.
And
I just
With
don't.
that, the Gators, were plus 8 at the free throw line.
Yeah, I just can't recall. And they were. They shot 21 free throws, and Houston shot 14. I look at it. I don't know that I remember just going, "Oh, that's not a foul. Oh, that's a bad call."
Well, it's not about that. It's
except for the
you
technical.
call the game two halves completely
No,
different.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I'd have to go back and look at it and say, well, is it more physical? Probably not. I mean, does it get more physical towards the end of a championship game? It does. Right? I mean,
But it was the first 2 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. I wondered about the technicals, not the second technical where he bounced the ball. I mean, that was one of those where you're just going, what are you doing? But the first one where they called him for the coming off the bench or whatever, I was like, okay, it's there for you. It was good. I don't know if I think it's the greatest ever, although it was one of the great endings. I mean, it was one of the iconic endings. Like, you go back and you remember Gordon Hayward throwing one in from half court that rimmed out that almost beat Duke. Isn't that weird that that's the ending that I remember? And it was the shot that missed.
Yeah. So it is the Butler of all teams.
Yeah.
Right there.
When Butler was not even in the Big East, when Butler was in, I want to say the Horizon League or the Summit League? Summit League. Horizon League? Horizon League. Summit League. The Summit Horizon League. I mean, it wasn't the Pit. It wasn't Lorenzo Charles and Jim Valvano and that. But it was one of those where I think you're going to remember this because they didn't get a shot off, because the defense by Walter Clayton Jr., who won the Most Valuable Player award because of what he did offensively, made a defensive play flying out and getting in the way of Emmanuel Sharp. And I got to believe they didn't want it in Emmanuel Sharp's hand anyway. It was Cryer. And I thought the defense that Florida played on that last possession was tremendous.
It was a great defensive possession.
I thought the last couple of minutes they were really good.
Yeah, they forced 4 turnovers in the final 4 possessions for Houston.
Yeah. All right, we're open for business today at 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Adrian's producing for you on the visuals. It's on Comcast or Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico. It's on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, and it is on the YouTube channel for ProView Network, so lots of ways for you to watch the show. Kenny Thomas going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny, talk about the end of the season and what he saw in the Houston-Florida game, and look at the NBA, because now you turn your attention to that. If you have not already, if you are a basketball fan, you get the Masters this week. It's a tradition unlike any other. And then you will get the playoffs, which start a week from Saturday in the National Basketball Association. So that's all on the table for you as well. There's some NFL stuff, a lot of college stuff. What does the House settlement postponement because of roster limits mean? We'll get into that. A local football alumni who's become a really big name in college coaching made a little bit of news yesterday. So we got a ton of places to go. Here for you, the emails and texts have already started at 505-246-0610 and Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. We'll get a little bit more into the college basketball championship when we get back. Exactly how did Florida get it done, and the reaction from the Houston Cougars after just a just rough, gut-wrenching loss. Whoever lost that game, it was going to be gut-wrenching. Hey, you got until Friday to take advantage of John Thomas Jewelers going to Antwerp to find you the perfect diamond. And if you pre-order by April 11th and let them find your 1 in a million diamond, they will give you a free engagement or anniversary upgrade ring. Just pre-order your Antwerp diamond starting at $3,000. They will give you a free engagement or anniversary upgrade ring. Antwerp is the diamond capital of the world. John's going there to hand select breathtaking diamonds just for you. 80% of the world's loose diamonds roll through Antwerp. It's where the best diamonds in the world are sourced. That means you get unmatched quality, unmatched value. John's got over 35 years of diamond experience. Let them go over there, handpick a bigger, brighter, more beautiful diamond than anything you can find here in New Mexico. Take advantage of this opportunity. There's no middleman. There's no mass production. Just your perfect diamond at an incredible price. Stop by. It's John Thomas Jewelers' third floor showroom on Louisiana. You'll understand right away why they've been voted America's coolest jewelry store. They're at 2440 Louisiana Northeast. Suite 310, third floor, Lewis University Building, on Louisiana, south of Manal, right across from the Coronado Mall. It's John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots?
Ice Dubs baseball for you here on the Sports Animal today. They will be in Sugarland. That be in Texas. Open up a 6-game set. Josh Sushan will crack the microphone. I believe it's 6 o'clock for you. on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Florida rallies past Houston to win its third national championship. The way I was told last night is they are now the first school to have 3 national championships in both men's basketball and in football, which is pretty impressive. Houston gutted, stunned, broke everybody's heart is what the reaction was coming out of the Houston locker room. Kelvin Sampson, look, 69 years old and a dude who really believed he's there. And look, they may get back. I don't know. I thought, last year I thought he had a team to do it. When Shed got hurt last year, it really just broke their chances, right? That was their best play. Was that last year? Was that 2 years? That was last year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought they had a really good team last year, and their best player got hurt. But you look at it, and I haven't heard. Did Kelvin Sampson talk about the final? What happened in the final sequence? Because that would have been his 800th win, and it would have been a national championship, which is crazy.
I haven't seen anything specific on.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Not getting them shot up.
Yep. He said, "Look, I just told him I love him, and we're not here without him." And that's all you can really say, right?
Yeah, and you said the look said it all. Like, there's the play fell through. Florida executed the final possession, and you're stunned, shocked. Like, at that point in time, Sampson realized it. Like, if I go stomping around yelling at what?
Yeah,
didn't make a play.
There was nothing that was close to a foul. Text line says, how did the refs call 4 fouls in the first half and 26 in the second half? Not that it cost Houston the game, but it was nearly a 2-to-1 ratio in favor of Florida. Something has to be done about consistency in the game, and the refs not making it all about them in the second half. It's kind of where you were going. Did you feel it was lopsided? Did you feel
it was lopsided? But I don't. What was the difference? There was the same amount of contact going on. It wasn't just late in the game. It was the first 2 minutes of the second half. I think there's 4 or 5 fouls called after 4 fouls in the entire first half. Just be consistent with the tone you set in the game.
Yeah, and these are guys who are considered to be the best.
These are the best of the best.
The best of the best, right? They got the national championship game. To the texter, and I'll say this, and I know I've said this many times before, because as I watched that game, I didn't feel that it was tilted. I mean, give me a call that you felt, oh my goodness, that's just, how they're just calling everything on Florida, or they're calling everything on Houston. There's nothing in the rule book that says fouls have to be distributed evenly, right?
No, but it's not about that.
Well, that's kind of what this was saying.
Like, it's about you let them play for 20
No,
minutes.
I understand your point.
And then you call it a completely different game, which affects the game.
Yeah.
With Florida not doing anything offensively.
I'm not arguing that.
And then they end up plus 8 at the free throw line. It's because the bonus was early. And that is one thing where I do think legitimately college basketball has to ask themselves, do you want to play quarters or a half? Because sometimes when you have those early fouls and there's like 12 minutes of a second half of a bonus, like, what are we doing for New York?
I think most people want to go to 4 quarters. I don't even know what the holdup is. Do you?
I'm not sure, because that's just the one thing I don't like about it. Is when you get into the bonus with so much time left and everything's
I agree with
1-1,
that.
double bonus, and just
it's a free throw contest. Yeah, I don't know why they don't. I mean, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. As far as the texter's concerned, Houston got called for 19 fouls and Florida got called for 11. And what the text line says is it was a 2-to-1 ratio in favor of Florida. Something has to be done about consistency. And I'm not sure if he's saying it's got to be even out or like what you're saying, just call it the same way. He also said the SEC in their 14-team field made $70 million from the tournament. The rich get richer. Yeah,
absolutely they do.
Yeah, yeah. Keep stacking those units.
Yes, units for days.
Yeah, and those will be there for. I think they last for 6 years. This one says, "Can you feel any worse for Coach Kelvin Sampson on the final possession of that game? I want to cry for him. I really thought Houston was going to win." Yeah. Look, I don't know what you wouldn't like about him. Well, I mean, Jeff, he cheated and he got run out of the game. Yeah, he did what kind of everybody was doing, which is now legal, and he got caught, right? I mean, didn't he? It was at Oklahoma, and it was contacting recruits in a non-contact period or whatever. I mean, okay. This one says, hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm making baskets to the end. Even though no one is watching me, I'm draining threes from the balcony. And then I go and hit all my free throws off the glass, and they go into the sounds of silence. Thank you for the poetry. Right. You're welcome to get in today, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff@sportsanimалabq.com. Ron sent an email. Mercenaries are killing college athletics, Jeff. How sick are the Iona OD fans this AM? They had Clayton Jr. in their uniform. They had Wone Nelly in their uniform. Yeah, well, look, this is one of those where you may just take pride. He was once ours, like when you watch JT Toppin. Next year when you watch Donovan Dent. I mean, that's how you're going to feel, Ron. Is it killing college athletics? I don't know. Florida would say, yeah, it's kind of nice. we got Walter Clayton Jr. from Iona. Yes. It's, again, did you watch? I heard the ratings were up. We all watched, right? As much as people say, I'm not watching, it's killing, we all watch.
Yeah. It was, even with the comeback versus collapse argument, it makes for fascinating television, because what do you believe? Do you believe it was a comeback? Do you believe it was a collapse? That's what got the meter on it. You look at what Florida did. They trailed 10, like 5 minutes ago against Texas Tech. 9 at halftime to Auburn. 12 in the second half to Houston. They're national champs.
They're national champs. Ken said, OD Universal Truth, number 3, the world needs new refs. How do you go from calling nothing in the first half to everything in the second? The teams weren't playing any different. Okay. All right. You're right. I guess that's not the overlying issue to me. But okay. I mean, do you guys think that's what cost the game?
It changes
it does.
the way the game is played. Because
especially
Houston
a physical
is
team like that.
Suffocating Florida, and you're letting them play a certain style for 20 minutes. You come out the first 2 minutes of the second half, and you're blowing the whistle, already 4 or 5 fouls on this team, and Houston still had a chance to win the game, but it changed the vibe of the second half. And I understand where you're coming from. A foul's a foul, but why wasn't a foul in the first half?
No, that's fair. And both of Houston's bigs were in foul trouble, right? Tugler was in foul trouble. Francis was in foul trouble. Tugler fouled out of the game. And I mean, do we think Tugler's fouls weren't fouls? I mean, is there one that you want to argue with? And because I hear you, I think you're right that the game was called differently.
There's just okay if you're letting contact go in the first half, then all of a sudden whistling everything at the start of the second half. It's just that lacks a consistent flow to the game. The style that was set, you let them play this way for 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to go see Creed Summer of 99 tour. It's coming up August 4th out at the Isleta Amphitheater. We're going to do that at 8:10 this morning, so that'll be your chance to win a pair of tickets. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to do that at 8. You want to do it at the end of the 8 o'clock hour, 8:55, going into that break? We'll do it at 8:55 this morning. That'll make things a little easier on everybody. So 8:55, you get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see the Creed Summer of 99 tour. All right, so who's the favorite to win next year? And what does the House settlement mean? What did it do? We'll get into that. Coming up next, it's the opening drive. He is J.J. Buck. I am Jeff Symbieta. It is 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Brought to you by Root.
Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasfa.org. That's nmfasfa.org.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats.
Big Drive is on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal. Houston leads most of the night. In fact, Florida only led for 1 minute and 3 seconds, but they led when there was nothing left on the clock, and the Gators are your national champions. 65-63 in a, great game. Good game. Just memorable. I believe it'll be a historic, memorable ending, and not because of what happened, but because of what didn't happen, right?
Yes.
It's not even because I think if it was a missed shot, it wouldn't have even been as much, right? Didn't get a shot off. And I think that's one of those where, Emmanuel Sharp goes up, and here comes Walter Clayton Jr. flying in, and he bounces the ball, and I feel for that young man, too, because he's got to live with that one. That's going to be a tough one to eat.
Yeah, and I did see some Calvin Sampson pretty much just said, got to be better than that at the end of the game.
And they do. And they do. Is this comparable? I hate this. I do. Because I just saw a tweet. It's the bad side of the tournament with all the one shining moment stuff and all the great stuff and all the great moments. And there's that, right? Is this comparable to Chris Webber calling a timeout?
No.
That was just a mental... Yeah.
Like you had an offense that called the play and a defense that shut it down.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I'm just thinking of the moments that, you just got to live with, right? And I always wonder, they probably didn't want the ball in his hand anyway. I mean, it probably was supposed to be in Cryer's hands. It got forced out of his hands. And Florida defended it really well. That was on Florida. And at some point, if you're Emmanuel Sharp, and they were, at first he was open. I'm thinking, he's getting late in the clock, get to the hoop. All right, get to the bucket and get this thing to overtime.
Yeah, and that's all the things you have to be ready for in the moment. The pressure, how to handle it last few seconds. They obviously were hunting for the three. We're still looking for that shot, and he's caught in no man's land.
Yeah. All right, what else happened? Duke is now the early favorite to win. I don't even know how you look at this and go, because you have no idea what rosters are going to look like. This is just astonishing to me. If you think someone is going to go kill it in NIL, and you want to go put some money down on them, go knock yourself out. But the odds are out for next year's national champion. Duke is the favorite at 10-1. Houston 12-1. Louisville 14-1. Purdue 14-1. Kansas 16-1. Lobos are plus 30,000 if you want to put a couple of shekels on
Make some money
to win the national championship. All right, what was the big news yesterday outside of the national championship game in college sports? And it was April 7th had been the date, right? We're expecting, we're going to get settlement on the House settlement. And I know you've heard about it and maybe don't know what it is. And I know Fernando Lovo, the athletic director at UNM, was in last week kind of talking about it a little bit. So the judge, whose name is Claudia Wilkin, did not provide the final approval of the deal between the NCAA and the plaintiff attorneys. And these attorneys are representing past, present, and future D1 athletes. She directed the lawyers to look at a short list of her remaining concerns, gave them a week to do it. The NCAA, and the numbers are just mind-boggling. The NCAA has agreed to pay roughly $2.8 billion, with a B, dollars in damages to past and current athletes to settle these federal antitrust lawsuits. So in exchange, the NCAA will be allowed to limit how much each school can spend on its athletes per year. Basically, it's a salary cap, okay? It's expected to be somewhere in the area of $20.5 million per school. JJ, I believe it increases 4% annually over the next 10 years. The judge suggested that any current athlete would keep their spot even if it puts the team over the new roster limits. And roster limits in football are going 85. And then it'll just whittle its way down to so nobody would be thrown off a team right now, but in the future you'd have to go to 85. The collective bargaining agreement might be a great idea. She said the case in front of her didn't give her the authority to rule on whether athletes should be able to negotiate in that fashion. And other objectors on Monday raised concerns that the $2.8 billion in damages were being divvied up in a way that's unfair to women's athletes. And that's probably correct.
Yeah, I don't think that's changing.
Well, I think what we heard, another court ruled, didn't they, that Title IX means equal opportunity but not equal compensation. So we've had so much conversation when it comes to this revenue sharing and divvying up these damages, $2.8 billion. Well, what about Title IX? It's got to be equal. Well, according to the last judge that heard that case, Title IX says that women need to get equal opportunity, but not necessarily equal compensation. So that's where we are at this point, and you'll hear more about it. I didn't assume we were going to get complete resolution, but we're on our way. And it looks like enforcement on July 1st is still on track.
It was, so the judge can't change anything. That's why it's suggestions. It's got to go back, tweak some things, and then soon it looks like we will have an agreement on this. And been moving forward in the new era of college athletics.
Kevin, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Kevin.
How you going?
Good. How you living?
How you doing?
Good. What's up?
Well, what do you think was the messier finish, the Duke finish or the Houston finish in the last moment?
That's really good. Duke, because I thought it was multiple possessions, although you can argue Houston in the last 4 possessions. Boy, that's a really good question. I think Duke.
Yeah, the Purdue head coach didn't like the way that game finished either. I like Kelvin Sampson because one guy asked about the assist. You had 5 assists, and he said, what's your name? The guy said his name. Do you know what assists are? And he said, that's when you give it to a guy that makes a shot. And he said, we had plenty of chances. I like Kelvin Sampson because he said it the way it was and all that other stuff. I don't want to see B get into the self-pity and all this other stuff. The gentleman from Duke who said, I'm not a clutch player, the freshman, I think that's a little bit much coming down on yourself, and all that other stuff. Actually, Duke had a hard time winning national championships in the beginning. I mean, Danny Ferry, Bricky, in 89 or 88, went out of the game and all that other stuff like that. But revenue sharing, how's the tariffs going to handle with these jerseys being made in foreign countries, too? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I imagine it is. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, revenue sharing, and yes, the price of those jerseys will be going up because they're made in foreign countries. Yes, they will. That's a really fair question. What was messier in? What's a tougher way to lose, Duke or Houston? Yeah.
Put it on the list when you have the 2 Final Four teams national championship, the team that was leading at the final media timeout, so the final 2 to 3 minutes of the game, lost the game.
It's crazy, right? It really is.
I would say Duke just because they're up 6 with like 33 seconds left.
I think
you lose that game.
That's my feeling too.
As opposed to 1 possession game and you don't get shot of. That happens to a lot of teams. Just you don't remember them like you will that one
because the championship was on the line. Because it was the final possession of the season. Yeah. That's a really fair one. I'll throw that out to you. Kevin gave you a question to think about. Tougher ending or, what did he say it? A worse ending, an uglier ending? However you want to put it. A worse loss, a tougher way to lose. Yesterday, you kind of put it Duke at 70% collapse, Houston comeback 30%. I go more Florida comeback yesterday than I do collapse, don't you?
Yeah, because when it started, you were up by 12. But you're up by 12, 10, 11 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Battled back and forth 1 possession game. It was worse on Duke when you're up 6 with 30 seconds left.
It's almost unexplainable. But I'll listen to you. We'll talk to Ken Thomas about it as well. The former level great 11-year NBA veteran is going to be with us in studio coming up at 9 o'clock this morning, and we'll see what he thinks about it all. And he'll say, man, it's one of those situations where, is that what he'll tell me?
Shit around pick and roll.
He likes the pick and roll. 505.
Big man wants the basketball on the roll.
505-246-0610. Hey, IPS is all around the town. They're making our town safer. International Protective Service protects homes and properties. They protect my home. They've been protecting my home for years. Hundreds of homeowners and business owners in Albuquerque and Santa Fe trust International Protective Service. It's affordable private security. Why? Well, because property crime's on the rise, because the officer shortage continues to be an issue. And when it's your home and your business, you need protection. You've worked too damn hard to build what you've built to have a bad guy or bad guys come in and destroy that. IPS provides standing guards. If you need eyes on your property around the clock, they install alarms and camera systems. They have a state-of-the-art facility to monitor those cameras 24/7. This all raises the level of security around your home and your business. So, who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys and not the bad guys. A quick response to your alarm or standing guards at your business, that's what IPS does. You will sleep better at night. Don't wait to be a victim. Call IPS at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats.
This year's top 25 or betting odds, but you do because people will bet on them. Sports Illustrated has their top 25 out already for next year as well. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Houston is their number one. I don't know.
He's coming back.
I mean, right? Emmanuel Sharp will be back. You got draft decisions for Milos Uzan and for Tugler. And they bank on Kelvin Sampson, right? Purdue 2, Duke 3, UConn, Louisville, Kansas, BYU, St. John's, UCLA at number 9. It says UCLA struck gold early in the transfer portal with former New Mexico point guard Donovan Dent, who may end up being the best player to hit the portal this spring. Dent could completely transform the Bruin offense that never quite hit its stride. Make you feel good or make you sick?
Oh, you don't feel good as a fan.
No, right? There were 2 non-power schools in here. Michigan 12, Wisconsin, who just got Nick Boyd from San Diego State committed yesterday at number 13. Is JT Toppin staying? They got Texas Tech at 14. Will he stay?
To be determined. Yeah. All these dudes are going to test the draft waters.
All right, if I told you that in the top 25 right now, it doesn't matter, there were 2 non-power conference schools, who would you say they would be?
Gonzaga?
That would be one of them at number 22 because they are Gonzaga, yes. Graham Ike still has eligibility remaining, which is insane to me. Do you know who the other one would be? I'll give you this. It's a Mountain West school.
San Diego State?
It is San Diego State at 25. Magoon Guath tested the portal, seemed destined for a blue blood. At the 11th hour, he decided to return to San Diego State, a huge boon for Brian Dutcher's team that establishes them as Mountain West favorites. Keeping talented wings like Miles Bird would be the next move for them. All right. We'll see. I mean, look, they'll find stuff in the portal just like New Mexico will, just like everybody else will. Colorado State feels like they're doing well in the portal, don't they?
Yeah, that's the advantage when they had someone they trust to slide over, and you can keep some of the continuity and commitments, guys they were working on that didn't just immediately flip with Nico.
Is Kyan Evans still in the portal, or did their point guard?
All he was.
All right. So when Nico Medved left for Minnesota, they slid Ali Farokhmanesh over one seat. And Ali Farokhmanesh is the new head coach at Colorado State. They've kept a lot of players. They got a 4-star recruit in a guy named Josh Pasquarelli who transferred. He was a Marist transfer. He committed yesterday, almost 16 points a game. And they got Jace Butler, who transferred from Washington, another former 4-star. So they got 2 4-star recruits, which is, I mean, look, again, we'll just watch them play.
Yeah,
but,
potential.
Right. And if they keep Kyan Evans, they're going to be really good too.
Yeah, Evans, big key to that.
UNLV got a big guy. Guy transferred from Arizona, Manuel Stephan. He goes to UNLV from Arizona. Still in the portal, a lot of people. But Kate Dotson and True Washington still there.
Your entire roster is in the portal right now.
Aside from 3 dudes, right?
I'm not like the players that will be playing for the Lobos next year are in the transfer portal right now.
Yes. Yeah. And you're going to keep watching it. It's fascinating. The portal's open for another 2 weeks, so guys can still go in for another 2 weeks. But it is just fascinating to watch it every day. And I don't know if it's your thing or if it's not your thing. Every once in a while, I do go over there and just look at some of the names that pop in. And there's like a portal tracker, and it changes literally every few minutes. There's another name.
It's like any other free agency right now. Is when it's free agency season. I know I'm looking at the portal every day, both men's and women's basketball, see what's going on, see who's committed, and just so many players going on visits, and it's going to be a process that goes the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, even longer than that.
Yeah. And Emmanuel Ugbo from Boise State went in yesterday, I believe, is when he went in. And the guys like UC Irvine just finished playing. They just finished the NIT, and so their dudes are going in now. It's North Texas, like their whole damn team is in there. God, there's like 6 dudes they just saw from North Texas. They finished play. They went to the semifinals. Didn't they have the NIT? It's one of those where you're just like, it's crazy. Dayton Aubrey, the point guard from Utah State, was a little bit of a surprise. Another Mountain West guy who went in just, I want to say it was yesterday, but he just went in. So there's all these sites. If you want to just go look at it, you're stunned at the amount of players, the amount of quality players who've gone into the portal, and you can look at it by day. Like Nick Boyd went in, what's today, the 8th? He went in on the 6th and signed on the 7th. Don't tell me he wasn't contacted. Like, don't tell me.
We knew that way before the 6th.
That Nick Boyd was in?
Yeah, we knew that well before that.
Okay.
But I've been talking about that for a while since they were eliminated.
On Boyd? I guess that's right. Yeah, why does it have him here going in on the 6th? I guess maybe officially that's when he went in. Like when you file your paperwork. But yeah, it's interesting. All right, we got a lot of NFL stuff to talk about because the draft is coming. Where's Ashton Jeanty going to go? Is there a quarterback in round 2 that may make sense for some of these teams that are uncertain? And Cowboys' future is interesting as well when you get to quarterback. And you got Dak Prescott, but then what? And the league and the changes in the rules, and the Packers believe that the tush push is going to be banned, but why do they believe that? And so we got all that. And when we get back, I want to get into the NBA stuff because it changes, not as much yesterday, I say day to day, but every day that there's games, and there were only 2 games yesterday, not big stuff, although Sacramento needed to win, and they did. And that really concerns Kenny Thomas. So he'll be deep into that. But, I mean, you got literally in the West, the 3rd place team and the 8th place team. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 teams separated by 2 games. We'll get even tighter. You got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 5 teams separated by a half a game. Every game matters. What do you got tonight and who you pulling for? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Come on in today. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Located on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505.
Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, you got a champion, Florida 65-63 over Houston. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in on just a crazy ending. It wasn't the best games ever, but it was one of the most memorable endings that we've had in the tournament. And not just because it was yesterday, but I think you'll remember that one for a while because of what didn't happen. And just, I mean, if you're a Florida fan, the elation, and if you're a Houston fan, just as tough as it get. Maurice says the best part was getting to watch Eddie Nunez slither off the San Antonio field without the championship belt. Was that the best part? I don't know if that was the best part, but all right, if that's the best part for you,
Whatever gets you going.
Yeah, enjoy what you enjoy.
I know that Eddie and David Williams had pretty good seats in that one.
Yeah. Tough one, man. Eddie played at Florida, right? That's his alma mater. He played for Florida, and he's the AD at Houston. Like that. I mean, how about what are the chances you finally, as an athletic director, are getting a chance to play for a national championship? And there's 351 teams out there, and the team against whom you're playing is your alma mater. Like, how the emotions there, right? No, honestly.
Well, yeah, I think at that point, I can't speak for Eddie, but if I was him, I'd be like, bleep that diploma. Let's get
he was all about, he was wearing his Houston stuff, and he was all about who's paying the bills now.
Yeah. She had her red changes quickly.
Yeah, but I wonder, I mean, because you probably have all your buddies, right? All your old buddies are probably there, and they're looking at you like, you're wearing what, man? Like, who's paying the bills? But I mean, that dynamic's crazy, isn't it?
Man, I didn't. And then the alumni for Houston, I knew Elijah won, but then they were just showing the other one.
Well, like Jim Nance.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Jim Nance was there. Who else did they show?
Was it Carl?
Carl Lewis was there. Yeah, I saw Carl Lewis. Yeah,
it's like okay.
Yeah,
and they kept Keem Olajuwon off the floor after the
the dude in the suit, man, the butter guy.
Man,
the butter guy.
You got a job to do, but sometimes it's like, all right, this is a Keem Olajuwon.
What do you do there, man? All right, so you're a security guy. You got your sports coat on. You've seen these guys, right? And they got a job to do. And if the guy doesn't have a credential, you keep him off the floor.
I think if someone where you see is credential and be like, hey, this is probably the best basketball player ever at the University of Houston.
And you're like, I don't know what a Keem Olajuwon is, man. I can't even say that. But you don't have a credential, sir. I can't let you on the floor. And everybody's cell phones rolling.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Dude probably didn't know who Keem Olajuwon is.
Just need someone to vouch for him, man. Where's someone to be like, hey, this one dude's okay, thank you.
Five Slam at Jamma was 1983.
Mm-hmm.
That's 25 and 17.
Oh, I understand.
35, 43 years
ago.
ago.
I might not know who that is.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was people in the know that were like, it's okay.
Yeah, but until my supervisor tells me, right? I mean, I'm sure it's been nobody. Like that's probably the number one rule, right? The number one rule of emphasis. It's not defensive holding. It's keep people without a badge off the floor.
But if you get in trouble because you let Hakeem Olajuwon on the floor.
Yeah, but you know, in the moment, you don't know who the hell that is. I promise you that dude didn't know who or what.
Okay, but
Olajuwon.
there were people there telling him who it was.
Okay, his buddies are telling me he's okay.
No, there are people with badges on.
Oh, there were? All right.
Around him.
Well, yeah. I mean, they should have let him on the floor. Obviously, Hakeem Olajuwon should have been on the floor. I got a problem ripping this poor security guard.
No, but it's common sense a little bit.
I imagine.
There's credentialed people telling you, hey, this one dude. They're not asking every student to come on the floor there.
All right. Travis, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up?
Good morning, fellas.
What's happening?
Yeah, listen, I don't share the comments from the previous texter. Listen, I'd like to see Eddie have gotten that national championship. I think what he was able to do with stabilizing the program here, he deserves a lot of credit for that. Put us in a great position to be successful going forward. And so, listen, it's all love from this Lobo fan. But I did see some things on Twitter last night, some people complaining about the fact that the tip was, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So what's that guy's name? What is it, Hedgehog? What is it, Gopher? He must have been on Twitter last night complaining about how late the game was starting. But listen, both my parents, grew up in Houston and went to the University of Houston, and it's kind of ironic that they ended up locating to Albuquerque, New Mexico. But since I was a kid, since I was a baby, it feels like I have heard the story about the 1983, national championship game, 5 slamma-jamma against NC State in the pit. Ad nauseum, to the point it's like, I get it. I know the story. I've heard it plenty of times. And I was texting my father last night during that game, and we were talking about whether, what last night's game was comparable to. And I think, quite honestly, the game that it's comparable to is the 1983 national championship game, Houston versus NC State. I mean, think about that. Wittenberg, is basically from the logo, takes a, deep three. Hakeem Olajuwon decides not to rebound that ball because he knows it's coming up short, but he doesn't want to get called for basket interference, for goaltending, right? And then Lorenzo Charles rebounds the ball and dunks it in one motion, and instead of going to overtime, NC State wins the game, and we have that iconic photo where, Jim Valvano is just running around the court looking for someone to hug and kiss. And something similar occurred last night. I mean, Houston had the opportunity to go for two, to take it to overtime, and the decision, I mean, I know JJ said it earlier, you can't fault the guy for wanting to get the win, right? Especially, I mean, one of their best players was in foul trouble, fouled out. So, maybe that was a part of the concern, but man, they drive to the bucket and either make the ref, make a call or, hit a layup, and they're going to overtime. And it was the same kind of, like a little bit of a failure to execute there, just as much as, Hakeem Olajuwon's failure to get that rebound in the final second of that game. And so, for me, that is the comparison. But talking to my father last night, he was just sick to death. I mean, he felt like they had that game won, and then they just cougared it, so to speak.
Yeah,
anyway, have a good day. It was a lot of fun last night. Don't tell my father, but I put a lot of money on Florida last night. Felt really good about getting the dub. Feel bad that Kellen Simpson is not getting that national championship. Have a good day, guys.
Later. So you compared it to the one here. All right. It's I'm okay with that. Yeah, that one hurts, man. If you're a Houston fan, that one's going to be. I don't want to say it's just as bad a loss I've ever seen, because it's any loss that's close in a championship game is a tough loss, right? I've told you the worst one I've ever seen is the Malcolm Butler interception at the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Seattle had that one, and I remember coming the next day and I'm like, man, I don't know if you're a Seahawks fan, I don't know how you get over that one. That was the worst loss I've ever seen for like a fan base, for a franchise. I just don't know how you get over that one. I think any loss in a championship game that's close, like if you get blued out, it's like, man, that sucked. But it's not like we were one play away from winning. You know what I mean? You lose by 1 point for a national championship or for a trophy, right? For a title.
Yeah. And you're left with what if. It's not, oh, we missed the shot. We didn't get the shot. You didn't have the opportunity to win that game.
We didn't even get the damn shot. Yeah. Mike says Houston Cougs equal Louisville basketball. Jeff Alou, you say Louisville basketball is the best program never to reach the Sweet 16. Is Phi Slam at Gemma the best program to never win the belts? It's from Mike. That's maybe.
That 3?
I believe they've been there 3 times, and they haven't got one. I mean, I'd have to do a little deeper dive than that as far as great programs to never win a national championship. But, yeah, they might be right up there. Yeah, they might be. And again, that one, that one's going to sting. And it's 2 points, but it's, one bucket, one possession. But give me any. I don't care what you trade. Like Game 7 of the World Series, you lose 6-5, and you left a guy on third base, right? I mean, any one of those is going to sting. You go back to Michigan and the Chris Webber timeout. That stings. Tom Brady talks about the Super Bowls that he lost more than the Super Bowls he won, right? Now, he might have stole 1 or 2 of them.
You talk about cliches in sports, but what you see and what you realize is losing hurts more than winning feels good.
Yeah. And that's why you say this all the time, and you're so right. When your team wins, I mean, enjoy it, because it doesn't come around that often. It just doesn't happen to the point where, it's there were 65 teams in the tournament, 68 teams in the tournament, and 67 of them ended up crying. 67 of their fan bases didn't. One of them cut down nets. One of them. So, all right, 505-246-0610. We'll get into that the NBA stuff and the NFL stuff. We get back. Kenny Thomas is going to be here kicking it with Kenny coming up at 9 o'clock. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to go see Creed Summer of '99 tour. That's going to be August 4th out at the Isleta Pavilion. We'll do that at 8:55 this morning. Got the Masters coming up this weekend. You got the NBA playoffs coming up. Where are you going to watch them? Twin Peaks has you covered. Augusta this week starts off tomorrow with the par 3 championships. The first major of the year, it'll be wall-to-wall at Twin Peaks from April 10th through the 13th. You can enjoy the Tito's Transfusion Cocktail, $8.50 a day. Catch all the Masters action at Twin Peaks and get ready for the NBA playoffs. Starts April 19th at Twin Peaks. It's the best place for all your hoops. So head on down to Twin Peaks and catch all the NBA playoff action while you enjoy delicious food and drinks. And don't forget your Tuesday plans. That is today. Twin Peaks, the place to go. Limited time. Twin Peaks offers BOGO on bone-in wings. Buy 6 bone-in wings, get 6 more free. You can choose from a variety of sauces, including their delicious smoky sweet barbecue. Or if you like the spice, try that pineapple habanero. Pair that with a nice brew, and you got yourself a heck of a Tuesday. Head on down to Twin Peaks Tuesdays. Take advantage of their buy one, get one special before it's gone.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Got shots. Got shots. Got shots.
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call.
I checked my license, make sure it was Real ID. Got the Real ID email. Leah Black just sent it. May 7th, Real ID. So you have to have a gold star in the upper right corner of your license. Makes it Real ID.
All right, get sent somewhere?
You might. Yeah, you want to take your chances? I mean, you got a good head of hair. You wouldn't have to shave my head. You got a gold star?
Yes.
All right, 505-246-0610. Come on in today. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Sid says, my favorite 1983 memory, Jim Valvano or Sid getting to the game. Mr. Symbieta, it was Saturday afternoon. Sid was sitting in a cramped University arena watching the great semifinals. Yes, in those days, the games were played in the afternoon. It was beautiful in 70. I had some business in northwest New Mexico Monday morning. I planned to take care of that and then drive back to watch the finals, NC State versus Phi Sigma Gamma at 7 o'clock. When I left Albuquerque Sunday afternoon, it was still nice, but that quickly changed as I pulled away from the metro. When I got to the Continental Divide, the skies were menacing. And by the time I arrived at my northwest New Mexico hotel, it was dumping snow, which it did all night. There was at least 6 feet on the ground. The business meeting I had gone for was canceled. Schools were closed. Roads were shut down. I didn't know if I was going to make it back on icy Highway 44. Fortunately, about noon, the friendly April sun finally emerged and slowly started working on the damage. By mid-afternoon, the roads reopened, and I was one of the first on them. I pulled into the University Arena parking lot just before post time. That is how close I came to missing the greatest NCAA game in history, and it was all because of New Mexico's weather. It's from Sid. Like the way I read that? I did. Just so you know, I did. All right, Sid, I'm glad you got there. Your greatest memory was getting to the game and not the greatest game itself. All right. It was a hell of a game, Sid. The byproduct of well, here, how about this? Let me go here. Terry said, first half ball sitting on the rim, swatted away, and none of the three so-called best refs saw it. Rule can review if goaltending called, but can't review if blatant miss, non-call. Yeah, it was a miss. They missed that call. Absolutely missed it, right? Was it the first half, that goaltending?
Yes.
They missed it, yes. The so-called best refs can't miss a call because otherwise they wouldn't be the best. Text line, the byproduct of NIL, some fringe NBA second-round picks will stay in college a little longer to collect more money than they would in the G League or overseas. And with the world climate, so many players who once would play overseas might opt to stay in college and reap the NIL earnings. Yes, and so I've told you this for a long time. Well, I say a long time, I mean a relatively long time. One of the things that NIL has done is improve the quality of college basketball because college basketballs the players are staying in college longer than they had previously because they can make more money playing college basketball than they could taking their chances wherever they might be playing globally.
Yeah, and that's a positive to it. You have really good college basketball players that make an impact. Like watching last night, Roberts. That dude's not playing in the NBA.
No.
But he's a starting center on a national championship contender in college basketball.
Richard. Robert? Who are you talking about?
Roberts, the center for Houston.
Oh, for Houston. Yeah. I thought you were talking about.
Like, you know, it's a guy that stayed at that Houston.
Juwan Roberts. Yeah.
He's probably, that's one of those guys that's fringe G League playing somewhere. And opportunities probably stuck around longer than you would have in the past.
And Lord knows what he's making at Houston, right? I mean, he's probably making nice geld. And now he's a champion. All right, NBA tonight, you got games that matter. Clippers, who are currently sitting in the 5 spot, will play at home against San Antonio, who's struggling. The Warriors play in Phoenix. The Warriors need to win. Lakers Thunder is interesting. Lakers ripped the Thunder the other night. And I watched the talking heads scream at me that it really matters. The Thunder are playing for basically nothing at this point. The Thunder have wrapped up the number 1 seed in the West. They're 12.5 games clear of Houston. And as far as the overall number 1 seed, I guess they're playing for that because they're 2 games clear of Cleveland, if in fact they get to a final against Cleveland. They're 6 games clear of Boston. So I guess they're playing for something, JJ, with, 6 games left?
That's one of those games where you see the offensive ceiling, and all right, that's why Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic. When he's aggressive like that, it makes up for some of the other deficiencies you see in his game. But also, as you said, I'm not reading too much into it. You have a Thunder team that's locked in, absolutely ran away from everyone in the Western Conference, and basing that Sunday night game on, well, that's what's going to happen in the playoffs isn't good analysis.
Yeah, actually, what is there? 4 games left, right? 64-14, they play 82, so 8. Yeah, so there's 4 games left for them and for the Lakers. All right, here's where we are. Right now in the West, if it ends today, and it doesn't, because Golden State, then the Clippers, and the Timberwolves, and the Grizzlies are all in a dead heat for 5, 6, 7, and 8, and that's a big difference because 7 and 8 has to play in the play-in tournament. Right? They are all exact 46 and 32 records. And 1/2 game better than them is Denver at 47 and 32. Right now with tiebreakers, Thunder would play presumably the Timberwolves. They'd play the 8 seed. So Minnesota or Memphis is who they would get. Okay? I'm sorry, or Sacramento or Dallas. Because 7, 8, 9, 10 is Minnesota, Memphis, so they'll play for the 7th spot. Sacramento and Dallas will play. The winner will play the loser of that Minnesota-Memphis game. The Rockets would get the 7th seed. 3-6 is Lakers-Warriors, and 4-5 is Nuggets-Clippers. In the East right now, it's Magics, Hawks, Bulls, and Heat for the play-in. Cavs are 1, Celtics are 2. It would be Knicks, Pistons, and Pacers, Bucks. But everything, it's all up in the air right now. Because tonight, you get Memphis playing a game against a Hornets team that's not very good. Memphis should win. In the West, the Lakers and Thunders, the Warriors play tonight. It's all, all these games really, really matter. Nuggets play the Kings tomorrow. Rockets play the Clippers tomorrow. Warriors will be home. It's every one of these, man. It's going to change every night now as we go. The fact that you got 4 teams tied for the exact same record at 5, 6, 7, 8.
Teams separated by a half game
by 1 half
in the Western Conference. Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And really, schedule matters. Schedule matters. Warriors are going to close out. They've got 4 left. They're at home tonight. I'm sorry, they're on the road tonight at Phoenix. Then they get home for San Antonio at Portland. That game against the Clippers last game of the year may matter a lot. Clippers are that team that they got hot lately. People are telling you, hey, just kind of watch out. Take a look at the Clippers. Watch out for the Clippers. They've won 6 of their last 7. They've won 4 in a row. San Antonio, Houston, Sacramento, and Golden State is how they close out. So watch the NBA. We'll get into it with Kenny. But there's, again, next week after the Masters, you really start to care because, well, it's playoff time, and then we get 8 games a night or something like that, right?
A ton.
Yeah, that and the hockey, because the hockey starts as well. All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, what about the Cowboys' future? Joe Milton joined the Cowboys this week. Who is he? What's his deal? And does it matter? And get into some rule changes in the National Football League as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasfa.org. That's nmfasfa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasfa.org. That's nmfasfa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, just like riding a bicycle.
I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some
because the change I would want is just with the divisions. I'm fine with the way it's set up.
So you would seed by record.
But seeding by record makes sense, and I don't think just because you win a division you should be guaranteed a home playoff game.
Okay. Do you want to reseed after the first round? Where the number one seed always gets the worst seed still available. So if the 7 seed beats the 2 seed.
I am not as drawn to that.
Okay. I'm not either.
I think some of it too is when you get to a certain point, scheduling and just knowing like where and
who
you're going to play next week.
Well, I mean, you'll know by Sunday. Well, in some cases, Monday. It feels like that's where they're going to go to some sort of mix-up if that's what the commissioner wants. Also, the Packers ownership, whoever that happens to be, feels comfortable that the league is going to ban the tush-push. That seems to be where this thing's going. I don't like watching that play. It does nothing for me. I've heard the argument, what's the difference between that and just handing the ball off to a dude and letting him run into the pile? And the answer to me is I don't got 3 guys pushing him from behind, right? I'm not in love with either play. We're not going to ban the 26 dive, right? We're just not. So, as much as I don't like watching the play, the reason to ban it can't be, well, we can't stop it.
Because there's one quarterback in the league that is that strong in a team that's just very good at it in short yardage situations.
It is kind of amazing how they figured that out better than anybody, right? I mean, yeah, it's because their quarterback is a stud and can squat 600 pounds. But it is amazing how their offensive line can get that push and nobody else's can consistently, even with a Josh Allen behind it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the
what happened to the old
ban the tush push.
What happened to the old quarterback sneak? You know who was really good at the quarterback sneak and who was not one of the most mobile quarterbacks ever? Tom freaking Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady would always find a little gap off of between the center and the guard, didn't go the same way each time, found a place, and was really, really good at the quarterback sneak.
And you still can be.
I think that's right.
Got to do it. And the Eagles just line up differently, and people don't like it.
All right. Kind of like what's coming out of Vegas. Geno Smith is their new quarterback there. He's reunited with Pete Carroll there. And they claim they've got unfinished business there. And I kind of like it. Geno said, I think there's unfinished business. I think when people think about my story, Coach Carroll was a big part of it. He gave me an opportunity when not many people would have. It's part of his quote. Remember, he played 5 to 6 seasons with the Seahawks under Pete Carroll. He was a backup for 2 seasons, then won the job after Russell Wilson was traded to Denver. Who'd they get? Was it Drew Lock who they traded for? Everybody figured that was going to be the guy?
It was picks, bunch of picks, Drew Lock, like Shelby Harris and Noah Fant. It was a lot of moving pieces in that deal.
I like it there. And Geno is stoked that he is playing for Tom Brady's team. He says that's one of the biggest reasons he's excited about being in Vegas. Quote, this is Geno Smith now. It's Tom Brady. It's a guy that I've idolized and look up to, and I believe he does things the right way, and I think it's something I wanted to take just from watching the game from afar. I want to be a sponge. I want to soak up as much knowledge as I can from him. I want to learn as much as I can from him. The greatest quarterback to play the game. There's so much you can learn. I think the main thing that I'm here to win, I'm here to do the right things just as he did, end quote. How much do you think Tom Brady's going to be involved? I mean, he's a minority owner of the Raiders. He's not a coach. In fact, weekly he's an analyst. I believe by rule he is limited to how much he can do. But just being osmosis, just being a part of his organization.
Limited by how much he can do with other teams, but not with the Raiders.
So he can go down there like he can almost be an assistant coach?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I didn't know that.
Like he can't, which is wild to me that he's like the number one analyst and he can't do production meetings and go to practices.
Well, But then that makes sense. I mean, if you're going to own a team, you can't be behind the curtain of your rival.
No, it's still Tom Brady. You're just asking him to sit there and call a football game. It's going to be fine. Like, he knows what the heck he's talking about.
Can he not sit in the production meeting? So he can't sit at a table with the offensive coordinator, and they could just limit what they do? He can't do that. So who does he do the game with? Who's his partner?
Burkhardt?
That's right. So Burkhardt can and take the notes and share the notes with him, but he can't be there.
And I'm sure there's Tom Brady can send some text messages. And
that's fair. Ask him this. Ask him this. Ask him this. Yeah. Is that where Ashton Genty's going? Ashton Genty is the overwhelming favorite to be the first running back drafted. He will be. The Raiders are the betting favorite to draft Ashton Genty, the Boise State star. Minus 130 to go to the Raiders. They have the 6th overall pick. Do you have a different feel on the Raiders now? Geno's good. He's a good story. I think Geno is kind of the Derek Carr mean of NFL quarterbacks, right? I mean, wouldn't you like? He's not great. He's not good. He shouldn't hurt you, although he throws a lot of freaking interceptions now. Maybe he's in a better system now. If they get Ashton Genty and they can run the football, I'm not sure I love that Jacoby Myers is their number 1 wide receiver, although Brock Bowers is a stud. Yeah, Brock Bowers is a stud. I don't know.
They could be, depending on what they can cobble together. You have a franchise player in defense, Max Crosby, an offense that, all right, you in that division, like that's an offense that should be able to play with the Broncos, should be able to play with the Chargers, and competitive-wise, like they could be one of those teams that 8-9 wins and still in that wild card race. They just get good play from Geno Smith.
I imagine that's right, depending on what they get out of Geno Smith, right? And he's got to not turn the ball over. That to me, that's the biggest key with Geno. And if they run the ball, the Raiders interest me, man. The Raiders really interest me because I think that Pete Carroll brings them just hope. And I think while he's 70-something years old, there's a revitalization there.
Yeah, there's so much turnover in this league, and there's a lot of hype on the New England Patriots this season. Drake May taking that step forward, the money they spent in free agency. But when you take a step back, you look at some of these other teams, there's going to be new teams in the postseason. I think the Raiders hit a couple pieces in the draft that can play right away defensively. They're in that wild card mix next year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But then again, I look at it, I'm like, all right, who's not in the wild card mix? Like, and we'll know after the draft. Is it just like the Giants aren't? And who isn't?
Okay, that's a pretty vague statement. I understand, but I think they're a playoff caliber football team, which is not what they were last year.
True that, and that's why they're picking 6 overall in the draft. Yeah. All right, Kenny's going to be here. We'll kick it with Kenny coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll give away a pair of tickets to go see Creed Summer of '99 tour. Coming up this summer, we'll do that at 8:55 this morning. You're in your vehicle right now? How's it looking? I know, mine too. It's time for me as well. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Have them come out and detail your vehicle. Protect it. You're probably going to have that vehicle for a while now. It's one of your biggest investments. On the Spot comes to you. You don't take it to them. Invest in your vehicle and have them give you that new car feel. Without that new car price, that's what the car dealers do. They detail their vehicles. You can have that new car feel. The day you took it off that lot, smell, just by calling On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They'll come out to you wherever and whenever it's convenient. They will detail your vehicle, and they are the best at it. Also talk to them about their paint protection film and ceramic coating. You can prevent those nasty scratches, the stains, the fading paint. On the Spot's been awarded best in the city because they are best in the city. They know what it takes to provide quality care for your vehicle. So protect your car's value. Enjoy being in your vehicle. You spend a lot of time in it. Everything's online. Book and buy at their website. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves.
Game 65-63. You win championships with defense. Boy, Florida played some defense at the end, didn't they? Cougars didn't get a shot off on their last possession. Gators cut down the nets. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. You're welcome to get in today at 505-246-0610. It's our phone line and our text line. Our emails come in this morning, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Got your favorite memories? Somebody asked a really good question earlier. Tougher way to lose. I don't even think it was phrased that way. The Duke or Houston, worst played last few possessions. They're both bad. I give the Florida one more of a comeback factor than I did, and the Duke one more of a collapse factor. I think you're on the same page as me with that, right?
Duke was up by 6
with 36 seconds.
30 plus seconds left in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's
yes,
hard.
Houston led by 12, but it was midway through the second half. Got tight, multiple possession game down the stretch. 4 straight turnovers for Houston, did not play well. And crunch time.
Yeah, so that's what you got. All right, baseball yesterday. Dodgers lost 3 or 4. Look out.
Watch out.
Look out.
Bar Dave Roberts now.
I mean, and will Blake Snell went on the injured list? I don't know where they're going to get pitching from.
Start warming up Shohei.
Shohei Ohtani, homer, tripled, singled, walked, went 3 for 4, 2 RBI. Dodgers lose to the Nationals 6-4. Dave Roberts said that Ohtani was unselfish in his final plate appearance when he drew a walk with the game on the line. He was a double away from hitting for the cycle. I mean, are you worried? I'm kidding. Easy.
Sound the alarm.
I mean, the Padres are in first place at 9-2. The Dodgers
Shut it down.
Dodgers are a third place team right now at 9-3.
It's unacceptable with that payroll to be in third place.
Yeah, somebody's got to get fired.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, they were 7-0. It just can't be. Meanwhile, the Colorado Rockies are 2-7. They're already 6 games back.
We're not talking about the Rockies here. We're talking about the Dodgers.
I just brought up the Rockies.
There's no need to put them in any conversation regarding Major League Baseball.
They're not the worst team in the National League. The Braves are 1-8. The White Sox are exactly. You're the White Sox right now. That is so bad. You can't be the White Sox.
I'd rather be the White Sox.
Why would you rather be the White Sox?
Because they're bad. They know it. Trying to figure it out. Instead, you have an owner in Colorado that doesn't want to spend money, but then he complains about other teams spending money and how woe is me, the system's against us. Sell the team, man. If you don't want to invest in your product, sell the team. Like, why do you think people just go to hang out? The Colorado Rockies is minor league baseball. Lodo, the party deck, it's a baseball game. No one cares about your team.
Do people in Denver care?
No. Did you see opening day?
No, it was cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
Pimp's Heart,
It's always
right?
cold. Denver.
Yeah, but it was like
people show up to games when it's cold. No one was there.
Wasn't it snowing on opening day?
Probably flurries, but it wasn't.
Whatever, flurries.
It's when it's when baseball opens. It's nothing new.
In Colorado, it does. Yeah, it does. It almost always does. And now it's going to be 70 degrees this week.
There's a reason that throughout the summer, Coors Field is the venue people like to go to, but it's the opponents have more fans there than Rocky fans.
So there's places like that, right? I mean, if you go to a Charger game, right? It's always like that. But yeah, it is a great place to go to a ball game. I love going to a ball game there. I mean, it's a great ballpark. But you're right. Best start in baseball right now, by the way, is the San Diego Padres. They're 9-2. Padres 9-2. Phillies are 7-2. Yankees are off to a good start at 6-4. And leading as far as teams like, whoa, you better figure it out. It's the White Sox. The Braves are 1-8, and the Rockies are 2-7. Isotopes are back at it today. We'll have them here on The Sports Animal. They are in Sugar Land. They will play the Space Cowboys. Josh Sushan will have the call here for you tonight on The Sports Animal. When we get back, let's get into the NBA. Let's get into the game last night. Kenny Thomas, the former Lobo great, 11 years he played in the National Basketball Association. He will be with us, and we'll get into that. Before we do that, though, we have tickets to give away. Pair of tickets to go see Creed, Summer of '99 tour. It's August 4th out at the Zleta Pavilion. 2 tickets to caller 3 at 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. You will win those 2 tickets courtesy of your good friend J.J. Buck at 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational System.
9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Win-win, cut down nets. Not how the song goes. How does the next part go, JJ? Oh, it was AZT. That's right. Well, GATOR's got next. The Gators win. They are your national champions, 65-63, in a game that you'll remember for what didn't happen at the end. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. We are now joined as we kick it with Kenny by former New Mexico Lobo All-America and 11-year NBA veteran Kenny Thomas is in studio. What's up, Kenny Thomas? How you living?
I'm great, man. What's up, fellas? Hey, JJ. Jeff just called me out because of this paper you put in front of me, man. I appreciate you. I didn't even look at it, but
I'm like, hey, man, that's for you. He's like,
I started printing off a couple extra copies. Like, I'll leave it here.
This is awesome. Thank you, because I would have no clue.
Yeah, no, that helps. See? All right, let's hit. You know what? Before we get into the hoops, I know you're a golf fan. Yeah. Masters this week.
Oh yeah.
So Scotty Scheffler tonight, he gets the champions dinner. Your appetizers are cheeseburger sliders. They're served Scotty style, whatever that means. Firecracker shrimp, Papa Chef's meatball and ravioli bites. All right. First course is Texas-style chili. Main course, choice of wood-fired cowboy ribeye or black and redfish.
Ooh.
And dessert is warm chocolate chip skillet cookie with vanilla bean ice cream.
Ooh, that sounds good.
What would you have?
It really does.
Like
all of it.
No, but what would you like if you won the Masters? What would be your dinner? I don't know what mine would be either.
Oh man, see, this is what happens when you're number one. I don't know. Christmas, somewhere
green
Christmas.
Chili.
Oh yeah, that's
we need a New Mexican to win the damn Masters.
We need some tortillas.
Yeah.
Are you? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being real.
No, I'm with you.
I'm being real.
Just have Barrelas make the meal,
which is always good.
Yeah.
I've been slipping. I haven't been going over there. I've been so busy. But yeah, it's just one of those things, man. I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be a radio talent like you and JJ. Yeah. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to broaden my horizons.
Keep eating the Barrelas and you grow. All right, last night. You are on Houston. You sent me that text. Houston was going to win it all. They damn near did. I had a weird feeling going into it last night. I said at the beginning of the show, defense wins games. Yeah. Defense wins championships. Cliches are cliches for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And Houston is the best defensive team in the country. However, when it came down to it, Florida played some freaking defense.
Well, yeah, let's keep it real. Houston wasn't even supposed to be in the championship game based off of the last game. How that went down. There were so many different things that happened to where they just kept fighting, right? But it's one of those things. I have some attachment to Houston because I played there as the first place that drafted me, the Rockets. But man, I also heard that Sandia had Houston -5, which was kind of weird because
Florida was a 1.5 favorite everywhere else.
Exactly. I heard that, and I was like, what?
Really?
Well, that was a little weird. But, yeah, it came down to some plays, man. The way that the game started out, it was tight. It ended up being tight. When you saw Florida go on that run, I thought it was going to be a blowout. They got up by like 13, 14. Because Florida, you got to keep in mind that point guard. What's his name? Clayton?
Yeah, Walter Clayton.
He's legit. He's legit. Yeah.
What do you think of the last possession?
Wow. Okay. it was it was a little stunning because the way that it wasn't a play that was drawn up. It doesn't look like it seemed like they were a little bit out of sorts towards the end. It seemed like there could have been a timeout opportunity, to be honest.
Do they have one left, JJ?
I think they did.
You know, for a team that seemed prepared for everything, and I haven't even thought about this, because listening to Cryer after the game, he said there was supposed to be what they call an elevator screen, and he said the screen wasn't set.
No.
But I look at everything they did. I go, was it the Purdue game where they ran that inbounds play where they ran that fed right back to the inbounder, and it was so good. They're prepared for everything. They called the timeout before this. They had something set up. They obviously were going to win the game, not tie it, right? And to your point, they looked so out of sorts, which was so uncharacteristic of that particular team in this tournament.
Well, it came down to a mental lapse at the end. Sometimes in the moment, some people are not ready for the moment. It seemed like number 5 was supposed to set that pin down, and he didn't go down and try and get the shooter coming up for Houston. And Clayton, man, the way that he flew out there and contested that shot, it was okay. If he would have shot it, it was going to get blocked. And he had no choice. And then once again, number 5, big man, maybe ain't been in that moment, but the reaction time was not there. But yeah, man, I mean, you could tell the coach for Houston, he was just stunned because it was one of those ones to where you at least want to be able to get a shot off, but they didn't even get an opportunity for that, right, JJ?
They didn't have timeouts left.
Okay.
So yeah, and that closeout was it, man. Like,
yep,
because he caught it well behind the 3-point line. It seemed like he had time, and he catches, and then Clayton's up in the air. Game.
Pump fake would have been really nice right there.
I didn't. Obviously, he had time, but it's one of those things, man. He, instead of reading the situation, he came up ready to shoot like he should have been. But you got to pay attention, and I don't think he saw, like, in the corner of his eye or anything what was going on, and he probably didn't expect Clayton to come out like he did. But yeah, he
What did you think of the officiating? And a lot of people are saying, they called it a lot tighter in the second half than they did in the first. I didn't have a problem. Like, when I walked in today, officiating wasn't even on my mind. I didn't think it was horribly officiated. It was a lot tighter in the second half. Yeah. I think they called, 4 fouls in the first half?
You can't do that, though.
Yeah.
You can't do what?
So you call 4 fouls the entire first half.
Uh-huh.
You call 4 fouls the first 2 minutes of the second half. You set a tone as a referee crew of, this is the way that I'm letting you play the game.
Yeah.
It's going to be physical.
Yeah.
And then the start of the second half, call 4 fouls in 2 minutes.
And there were 26 fouls called in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a real physical game overall, and I totally agree with you, JJ. It's national championship games. Some of those buckets got to be earned, and you could tell that they were letting them play like some grown men because that's what's going to happen when some of them get a chance to go to the next level anyway. So it's a battle.
I thought that the only play that in my mind it was a first half goaltending they didn't call. I look at the fouls like I didn't think any of them were cheap calls.
I totally agree with you.
But to JJ's point, and I don't think he's wrong, you're going to let them beat the hell out of each other in the first half. How do you tighten it up in the second half?
I totally agree. Obviously, the referees looked at the numbers on the fouls. It seemed like they had a conversation and they felt like they needed to come out. Because it seemed like they were non-existent to a certain extent because they were letting them play, which is what I really enjoyed because when the referees come out and set a tone, that determines the outcome of the game to a certain extent because you never know if referees are going to stay true to what they're actually doing, which is what JJ brought up. So, man, I got to point. I got to point something out. Did you guys see that Hakeem Olajuwon was at the game and they didn't let him on the court to go celebrate?
That dude
with
probably
the
had no idea who Hakeem Olajuwon was.
He had a credential though.
He had a credential?
Yes, I think he did. Right, JJ? But who?
I think that's why he didn't get on the court.
Because he didn't have one?
He didn't have one.
I thought he did.
But someone's got to step up for Hakeem in that moment and be like, all right, dude, I know you're doing your job, but this is the dream.
Well, what happened to that administration that went over there? You think they would have stepped up, right? The ones that left UNM and went to Houston?
They should have got him on the court. They should have got it's on Eddie and David to not get a chemo.
Come on, man. That's the dream.
I mean, that'd be like not getting Kenny Thomas a credential if the Lobos were in the Final Four.
Hey, let me tell you something. I don't know if I would go because look at the Dream. Look at what happened to the Dream, who I played with my rookie year.
Yeah,
look at how he just got denied.
They didn't know who Hakeem Olajuwon was.
Man, let me tell you something. I wouldn't have attempted to go do what Dream did because I would have not wanted them to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? Yeah. But hey, if the Lobos would give me a ticket, hey, I'll be happy with a ticket just to be in the building.
All right. You want to take a phone call?
Yeah.
Edward, you're on The Sports Animal with Kenny Thomas. Hello, Edward.
I feel honored, Kenny. Let me say this by the work that you do with the youth in this community for mental awareness, mental health, is equally as important as your brilliant career in the NBA. So thank you for doing that.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that. That's my partnership that I have with the Bernalillo County. I have a doctor, Catherine Grill. She's a mental health specialist. I partnered up with her, and we're bringing awareness to the different resources that the county has. And I also have a partnership with the Department of Health that's doing the same thing. So I brought them both together, and yeah, man, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, I pay attention intently to your how you talk about this and speak about this, and it's certainly appreciated.
Thank
now,
you.
Your perspective on basketball is much greater because you played the game and you bring an eloquence. Although I've won several intramural championships, you played at a different level, so I appreciate your perspective.
Thank you, man. That's just laughing. I couldn't help it.
So
that's awesome.
Last night's game, it's about the moment, which you alluded to. The last four possessions, and credit to both teams. We got into a text banter with some brilliant guys on last night. I think it was a choke job. Their last four possessions, their point guard, Houston's point guard, drives in the lane into triple coverage, jumps in the air, and gives himself up. The next possession, another individual dribbles into triple team coverage and doesn't have an option. Then on the next possession, the guy steps out of bounds with nobody on him. And, of course, the last possession where they didn't even get a shot off. In my mind, even though the other team stepped up with brilliant defense, the moment was too big, and it was a choke job. These are paid professionals, Kenny. This isn't when you played. Whether you got paid or not, that's not my business.
I never. But, hey, let me tell you something. If I got paid, I only got $420 a month, maybe about $1,500 to $2,000 every semester.
That's what you got for?
Yes, because I wanted to live off campus. If I lived on campus, it was like $90. I'm like, and we couldn't work. So, nah, man, I was loyal to this community because of what I did at Albuquerque High and 18,000 people for high school. I could have went anywhere in the country, man. Dean Smith was going to come have lunch with me. I passed up, and it just felt good to stay here. So, no money for me.
Thanks for clarifying.
No money.
Thanks for clarifying. But we're coming up on the break, but maybe you could share your perspective. In my opinion, the moment was too big.
Yeah.
These are paid professionals, and it was more of a choke job than the great defensive effort by the Florida team, but a function of both. Anyway, thanks for hearing me out.
Thanks, man.
Continue your good work.
Appreciate you, man.
Right. So basically, was it a choke job or was it Florida winning the game?
Well, obviously Florida deserves that win.
Oh, yes, they do.
Without a doubt. Well, you got to think about Houston. Houston is very loaded in the backcourt to where they rely on their backcourt a little bit too much.
But they didn't execute, right?
And they did not. When it comes to the bigs, it's one of those things to where they're very active in what they do. They play around the rim very well and they play above the rim very well, but they're very, very guard heavy. Number 4, the one that transferred from Baylor, that won a national championship. Number 4, I can't think of his name. He was the guy
Cryer?
that he was the one that stepped out of bounds in front of their bench. He was the one that was driving into traffic, and he's been doing it all year. And their backcourt's been doing it all year. It's a matter of those bigs for Florida. They stepped up, and they stepped up, and they stopped the penetration to where it wasn't effective.
Now, when we get back, let's get into the NBA. We got 4 games left for most teams. We got a half game separating 5 teams in the West.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I want your thoughts on what's going to happen as we go through the final week of the NBA season. He is Kenny Thomas. He spent 11 years in the National Basketball Association, former All-America at UNM. We're kicking it with Kenny on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Channel.
Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView.
Where legends are made.
Kicking it with Kenny here on the Sports Animal. He is JJ Buck. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. Kenny Thomas is here.
Merely
11
Kenny
years.
Thomas.
He's merely Kenny Thomas. All right. NBA playoffs start a week from Saturday.
Already?
Already. That would be the 19th. Kenny, Oklahoma City will be the 1 in the West. The Rockets will be 2. If you look, it looks like the Lakers are going to be 3. But if you take 3 through 8, that's the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, and the Grizzlies. They're separated by 2 games. You want to get even tighter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, separated by a half game. Denver. And then the Clippers, the Warriors, the Wolves, and the Grizzlies all have the same record. When you guys were hitting the playoffs, was it? I don't know. Did you want to coast into the playoffs? Did you want to have every game count? Did you want it to be like playoff intensity before you got there?
Well, for example, the Celtics, right? I'll use them. Like, they're so talented, they can coast through the season, but it's a matter of establishing yourself on where your path is going during the regular season. They play great ball throughout the year. That's why they're champions, right? This is where opportunities can happen, especially in the postseason, because you never know what's going to happen after the regular season. It's a whole different world when guys play harder as it gets into April and then it gets into the postseason. Obviously, there's bonuses that come into play, and then obviously it's an opportunity to go out and create your own destiny based off of who you're playing. When you think about the Lakers and the Warriors, that 3-6 spot, that right there will be very, very interesting. But with the Thunder, if
that happens, right? I mean, I think it changes every night.
I would love to see that match.
You want to see that in the first round?
Yeah, I would love to see.
You want to see Lakers Warriors?
Because I think that's going to take a lot out of the Warriors.
Who do you think
having
wins
to
it?
go up against the Warriors?
You do?
The Warriors. I think the Warriors win that in 6 or 7. Easy.
Who do you like out of the West? You like Oklahoma City? You like Houston? Do you like one of the young guns, or do you like one of these veteran teams that like the Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors?
If I have to pick one of the young ones, I would go with OKC for sure. And then the Rockets, I mean they're solid, man. You got Green, and then you got the big boy inside. It would be interesting to see how that unfolds. But I mean, when I look at this list, the Grizzlies, I don't think they impact like people think they are, and it would be very interesting. But you got to talk about JJ's Nuggets. If they were end up playing the Clippers, it's one of those things. If Murray don't show up, then Clippers could show up and show out.
It sounds like
Nuggets are in trouble.
See, he agreed with me. I can't believe he agreed with me against his Nuggets.
Well, Jamal Murray may be out. I mean, that hamstring, right? It's a groin or hamstring. What is it?
It's a hamstring injury.
Yeah. It's one of the worst things you can get between hamstring and groin.
And they've won a championship, but you're going to be left with what if? What if? Because Jokic, the one time Jamal Murray was healthy in the postseason, what did they do? They won an NBA championship. All the other postseason runs, it's been Jokic or bust, and they busted. They come up short. They gave him a max deal. He's making over $200 million.
Oh, yeah.
Tough spot.
And it's guaranteed. I mean, think about the Kings, man. They're in 9th spot right now, and they just went on the road and beat the Cavs. And I think they've been playing some pretty good basketball the last couple games. But that Eastern Conference, it's going to be really interesting. I love the Magic.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
And they're probably going to get the Celtics.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting if they do. If they get the Celtics, that's a whole different world. If it's the Hawks, the Celtics are going to run over the Hawks.
All right, let me give you something. Clippers have won 11 out of 13. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 6 out of 7. They've won 11 out of 13. In fact, if you want to go even further than that, I mean, they're playing well since Kawhi's back. They scare you at all? Or is it, well, they're just the Clippers and they've never been to a conference final, and if Kawhi's healthy, Zubac's playing good. To me, the Clippers are this X factor that could jump out and nip somebody.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Especially if they end up playing the Nuggets. That's what JJ just brought up. If the Clippers can keep playing the decent kind of ball that they're playing right now, it would be interesting to see what happens in the postseason when it starts in like a week. But the Wolves, man, how come we're not talking about the Timberwolves
again?
Right now?
Timu
you
was
know
in
what I mean?
Timu was in the conference championship last
I think they're unpredictable, but they could shake up some things. Don't you think, JJ, as far as the Wolves?
Well, you got Anthony Edwards. Who's
unpredictable, though.
Still that dude, and you have that dude can win you a couple games in a playoff series. They looked a little bit different this year with Julius Randle after swapping him out for Karl Anthony Towns. But that's, I think when you look at the T-Wolves, it's what else do they have?
They got Conley still, right, at the point.
He's like not playing much.
Oh, interesting. Who's their two guard?
So they're running, with the trio, the Edwards, Julius Randle,
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert. They got McDaniels that plays some.
McDaniels, okay.
Yeah, so
Sorry
kind of
to put you on the
No,
spot.
so 3 and D guys, but I think that's Conley can give you some minutes.
Yeah, because they don't got no sniper over there right now.
You know what's amazing to me? I look at the playoffs as we're going to go in, right? I think we will all be. Maybe Milwaukee can catch something, but right, if you were going to say Boston, Cleveland, or the field, everybody's going Boston or Cleveland, right?
Oh, yeah.
And probably Boston, but you got to give Cleveland a shot because they're the number 1 seed, right? JJ, won't you be stunned if somebody besides one of those two comes out of the East?
Yes.
Out of the West, you can make an argument for 6 or 7 teams, right?
It's always that way. It's always that way in the West.
Like, who would you bet in the West? Would you bet the number 1 seed Oklahoma City
Coming.
to come out of the West?
No. In the long run, no.
Who do you got coming out of the West? Is it the Lakers?
I got the Warriors.
You got the Warriors.
I got the Warriors. Depending on what's going on with Jimmy Butler right now, I saw something on Instagram. Something's up with him. I don't know if he's hurt, but if he's hurt, then that creates a whole.
That's a whole different world. Who do you got out of the West?
I would have straight up betting. I would take the field. I'm with you on that. Just the potential, because you look at the Warriors or the Lakers. If Kawhi is playing every single night, and then James Harden's at number 2, like
They're still the damn Clippers. They're still the damn Clippers.
Okay.
I mean, I no like there's still that whole Clippers persona to me.
Let's just say they get to the second round,
Yeah.
and an upset happens. Well, then all of a sudden they could be in the Western Conference Finals.
Well, sure. I mean, them against Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Well, they got to make buckets. If they're not making buckets, because
They
we know
got
they
James
don't play
Harden.
defense.
I got
They don't play defense.
Kawhi Leonard, who is as good defensively as there's been in the league in years. Might not be the same dude anymore. You guys, I still kind of like Oklahoma City. I think that everybody wants to tell me because they're young, and I know the Lakers beat them the other night, beat them badly, and I listen to everybody tell, "Oh, that's such a big deal." And look,
Those things happen.
they play again tonight.
It happens.
Same 2 teams again tonight.
It happens. Sometimes guys can't. I mean, sometimes teams can't throw a pea in the ocean, and it just happens, and they're just good teams, and it's the NBA. And then good guys. I mean, good teams like the Thunder. Sometimes they just get blown out.
How bad does the network not want to see Cleveland versus Oklahoma City in the finals? When you could have L.A. Boston or New York and L.A. or Golden State, right?
They should move the Thunder to L.A., move everyone else to New York, and then you never have that
then
problem.
everything's just
I'm
fine.
telling you guys right now, don't sleep on the Magic.
Really?
I'm telling you guys, watch this.
Tell me why you like them so much.
I just do. They're athletic. They're very skilled in multiple positions. And,
Right. I mean, look, Paulo Banchero's become a stud. I get that.
But the other what's the big white kid?
Well, they got
that's,
Wagner.
Yeah,
Franz Wagner.
I like him.
Yeah.
I like him. And then they got the big fella, the other big white kid that's in the middle, right? What's his name?
Who's their other big white kid?
Don't they have another big white kid?
Well,
they got 2 Wagners, don't they?
They got the
Okay,
Wagner
maybe
brothers.
that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
there's
got-
one that plays inside a lot more, and then the other one don't.
Yeah,
I like-
so Montez
There we
Montrez Wagner's the inside. Franz he was a lottery pick out of Michigan, legit scorer on the wing.
What's it?
I like him.
Batadze?
He plays like 10 minutes off the bench. Wendell Carter's their starting
Watch
center.
this.
Yeah.
Watch.
All
Orlando.
right. They going to get the Celtics in the first round? Probably.
if they get the Celtics, then that's a different beast. But
Yeah,
I
that's probably
guarantee you
right.
they will go at least 6 games.
All right. All right, what do you got going?
Nothing, man.
All right, good. Then
Nothing.
go play golf.
Not right now.
I mean, it's going to be beautiful today. You got a tee time?
No. No, I do not. What's going on?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
All right, well, tell
I
me.
have a lot going on.
Follow him on the socials. It'll all be there. It's Kenny Thomas NBA.
Yeah, man.
You,
I have
you
a
with us
lot
on
going
Friday?
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm out of town, so I'll be calling in.
All right. Kenny will be calling in on Friday.
I'll be calling in from
He won't be from
California.
Barrelas.
From California.
You're going to have to get like a California breakfast burrito.
Yeah,
They're different.
Yeah, I got to go to San Francisco.
Sorry, man.
I got to go work.
Yeah. Everybody got to work. All right, he is Kenny Thomas. Good to see you.
Thanks, man.
Safe travels.
Hey, once again, I appreciate that caller calling in and bringing up the fact of what I'm doing with these kids and bringing awareness to the different vendors here in New Mexico that's partnered up with the different government entities here. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So there's more coming. Stay tuned. Thank you.
JJ and I are back. He's gone. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
You're listening.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need.
Turning the corner on a Tuesday, it is the opening drive. We're on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. 505-246-0610 is how to get here today. All right, you guys have a bunch of stuff in. Let me get you some of it. David says on the fouls in the game last night, and JJ, again, is it right there were 4 fouls called in the first half and like 26 in the second half or something crazy like that?
Yes.
Did they call 19 fouls on Houston in the second half after calling none or only one on them in the first? Like JJ said, 4 total in the first half, 25 in the second half. Talk about changing the complexion of the way the game is played just by the way the whistle's blown. I don't want to hear that the whistle doesn't affect the way the game is played or the outcome. Wasn't rooting for either team, just for a good game, and I think we saw that with defense being played at a high level on both sides. Houston kind of fell apart the way Duke did on Saturday. However, there's a lot of pressure defense being played, and of course, the way the game was officiated completely changed from one half to the next. Oh yeah, how about a shot fake? Would have been 3 free throws to win a championship, 2 to tie. It's from David. Good chance of that happening, or it would have been blocked.
Well, I think if you watch that in live action, where Clayton came from,
nowhere.
That's the easiest. Pump. No, it's like he looked like he had a ton of space. He had like 7 feet when he caught it,
and he closed so quick.
Like it was just a really good athletic play defensively that shocked the shooter. Sometimes that happens.
Yep, and there was nowhere to go. He was in the air.
Like they did miss. It looked like on the play setup, missed one screen, got jumbled on the right wing. Pass came back to the shooter. Like, all right, there's space. It's going to be a deep 3, but Houston's looking for a 3, and Clayton was just like Superman.
Out of nowhere. Hey, fellas, good game last night between Florida and Houston, 65-63. Florida gets the win. Had my money on Houston, however, but still came out with a small loss. Oh, well, it happens. Yes, it does. This one, Chris, talking about the tush push and the NFL banning the tush push. Jeff, Green Bay crying about the tush push is so weak. Eagles have figured out how to get a first down with it. Figure out how to stop it. Quit crying. It's unfair because you can't stop it. Are we going to ban pushing the runner from behind to gain extra yards? Ban carrying the runner into the end zone? Stop. Perfect the push all off season so you're ready to go come season, or find your best physics and analytic guru to help you defend it. And I'm a Kansas City fan. It's from Chris. All right. Josue, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Hoser?
What's up, guys? Hey, did you hear from Eddie or Dave? Did you check in on them? How they doing?
I haven't talked to them since the game ended, no.
Oh, man. No. You know, I just felt bad. I felt bad for Coach Sampson. It's just, you know, just so hard to get there, and it seems like it's getting harder. But what I enjoyed, especially in the first half, was just the defensive play of both teams. I mean, there was a sequence there where they were blocking each other's shots. No fouls were being called. They were bumping. It was exciting to watch. And then I think in that sequence, that's when there was a dunk by Houston. There was a few of them. There was a tomahawk by one guy, and then there was another on the fast break that they ended on the dunk. And I mean, to me, that was like, man, this is why I enjoy college basketball. That style of play, you know, compared to what you get in the NBA. But oh my goodness, I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to another season and see what the Lobos can do. See if they can put another good team together and be competitive again.
Oh, good stuff. Thanks, man. Yeah. Look, it was a good final. We got a good final. Like all you guys really want, right? If you don't have a dog in the fight, and that means if your pool isn't decided on it or any of that, if you don't have a dog in the fight, you just want to be entertained. And I think we were last night.
Yeah, it was a 1-possession game in the last minute of a national championship game.
I mean, what more do you want? Came down to the last possession. Literally came down to the last possession. And one team played defense and the other team didn't execute and couldn't get a shot off. If you want to tell me it was a Duke-like collapse, I'll listen to you. You know, or Edwards' words, a choke, the caller from earlier. All right. I hate that word because I think pressure, I mean, maybe that's what the definition of it.
Let's put it on your meter. I don't have it as high as the Duke collapse because we're looking at the final minute. Yes, there were 4 turnovers from Houston, but it was also a 1-possession game. To where I feel different if you lose, 4 or 5 point lead, multiple possession game over last minute as opposed to the back and forth opportunities that were missed by both teams until the end.
Well, to me it's 50-50 come back and collapse. But it wasn't, I'm up by 6 with 36 seconds to go. And I lost the game by 3. No, wasn't that. I missed free throws. No. I mean, and on that last possession, I thought Florida played unbelievably good defense.
And there's like only so much you can do. I understand critiquing it after the fact, but you have no timeouts left. You're coming out. You run. You have a play called. For 8 seconds left? So you run the action. By that time already, 3-4 seconds come off the clock. Florida breaks it down. Like, there's only so much you can do. You can't then all of a sudden be like, oh, and then drive to the basket and then do this. Like, call play. Florida blew it up. Needed someone to try to belly out, and they didn't.
Yeah, and that's where you are. And so now you got Florida as your national champion. All right, 505-246-0610. If you want to come in, you're welcome to. No more college hoops. It's kind of crazy. Like literally since November, it's almost like when the Super Bowl ends, right? College basketball has been part of what I've done every night now.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, we won't watch it, but portal season. Let's go.
Well, portal season's crazy, and we're in it. So there's
Lobos need to put a roster together, so we'll have plenty of news in the next few weeks to discuss and break down.
There's about 1,800 players in the portal or have gone into the portal. Now, some of them have committed since. But as of 2 days ago, it was 1,729. No, as of what day is today? The 8th. As of 5 days ago, it was 1,729. So there's about 1,800 players who have gone into the portal. It's an average of north of 5 players per team. Everybody's like, it better not happen next year. Better not happen. It's going to happen every freaking year. It's going to, every year it's going to happen. And, Kentucky just got a guy from Arizona State who's, maybe a top pick in the draft next year. It's going to be this way. It's just watch the portal. All right, we'll wrap you up when we get back. Get you everything you need to know as you go through your Tuesday, 505-246-0610. Still time for you to get in. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Channel.
This is Boomer.
Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured.
Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. What do you got to know as you go through your day? What are people going to be talking about? Well, certainly going to be talking about Florida and Houston in the national championship game last night. Houston gets beat by Florida 65-63. The Gators cut down the Nets. Last possession came down to it. Ball was in the hands of Emmanuel Sharp. He went up for a jumper, and out of nowhere, Walter Clayton Jr. came in, made him bounce the ball on the ground. And again, somebody was just asking me in the break room, so what if he would have picked the ball up? Why didn't he pick the ball? Because that would have been traveling. He went up in the air and threw the ball down, so he didn't travel. But you can't just, I mean, that's just how it was. Ball bounced around, tick, 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 ball game. And Florida cuts down Nets. What else are people going to be talking about as you go through your day today? You got NBA tonight. You got 4 teams with the exact record in the West with 4 games left, as everybody jockeys for playoff positioning. So we'll watch that. You're going to watch the transfer portal. The House settlement that you've heard about in college basketball, delayed about a week for issues in regarding to roster limits and how they're going to deal with that. So that's kind of your big deal locally. Keep watching the portal. No big news as far as we didn't get into this. The Zach Arnett thing was weird, JJ. Former Lobo, former head coach at Mississippi State, former defensive coordinator at Mississippi State and San Diego State. Zach Arnett was the defensive coordinator on the new staff at UNLV. Yesterday, it was announced he resigned for personal reasons, and that really was all that Dan Mullen put out. I don't know what's going on. I don't pretend to know what's going on. I just hope everything's okay with Zach. Because that was abrupt.
Oh, absolutely.
That just sounds like something's not right. You know what I mean? And it was a pretty good job. Dan Mullen is the new coach at UNLV, and thought he put together a really nice staff. And you got a guy like Zach Arnett, who was a former head coach in the SEC, as your defensive coordinator in the Mountain West Conference. You're in a really good place. And Zach's name was up wasn't he up for this job, or his name was up in a number of circles? I don't know how serious it was.
Yeah, it's like with anything, especially the coaching search, you got guys with this experience and connections. Name gets put on the list by whoever likes to put out the list.
All right, Isotopes tonight. They'll be in Sugar Land. You can hear that game right here on the Sports Animal. They'll start a series, 6-game series against the Space Cowboys. That's got to mean United's home this weekend, right? On Saturday?
Yes.
Gotta mean, if Isotopes are gone. So United will be home. Are you watching what's going on with that boxing card in the pit? So
how it's falling apart?
Certainly at the top. How there's an issue about paying fighters. There's a boxing card on Saturday at the pit, and 4 Albuquerque athletes are scheduled to fight. They opted out.
You had the main event.
The main event opted out. Both, right? Both fighters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Due to didn't think they were going to get compensated.
Yeah.
And then you had more people pull out, as you were just mentioning. So I think it's probably the boxing event that was supposed to take place at this point.
Well, and the promoters are swearing, oh, no, it's still on. Chickens weren't cheap either. Now, I know they hadn't sold a bunch of them as of last week. But I think they start at $63. Right.
It's like, all right, it's 40-some-odd-year-old Rampage Jackson versus 40-some-year-old Rashad Evans in a boxing match.
Like 2 former MMA guys going at boxing.
Okay.
I know. No, I'm right there with you. I got to go to a gala on Saturday night. Am I missing NCAA tournament? Frozen 4? I got to... It could be like that. And then UNF football, you had guys coming in town for visits. I was reading Sean Ryder's article over last night about the half dozen recruits who were in town for the scrimmage last weekend, including a quarterback. And I gotta believe that there's going to be at least one more quarterback, don't you think, added to what's going on here before we hit the fall camp?
Yes.
The portal will be open. Now, these were high school guys, but I gotta believe with the injury to Jack Lane, the guy who came over from Idaho, that you're going to probably see some sort of an addition. And again, what are you going to lose when the portal opens here in a little bit? I don't know what the answer is to that. But it's something to watch. I tell you, I enjoyed being out there last Saturday, aside from the cold and the wind. I mean, it got chilly for a minute.
Yes, it was. It's cool. I'm looking forward to, especially the spring game coming up. They have a kids clinic the Friday the 18th, 5 to 5:45. Kids run around, interact with the players a little bit. Chance to see some football.
Yeah. And just kind of get an idea what they're going to look like, because I think it's a big deal. John said, hey, Jeff, don't look now. The Cubs are in first place with a great offense. Kyle Tucker leading the MVP. There is no MVP race 2 weeks in. They should have swept the Padres this week and still won 2 out of 3. All right, should have swept the Padres, and I got an MVP leader 2 weeks into the season.
I'm telling you, the Dodgers should be worried.
That might be one of my favorite emails we got in a long time. 2 weeks in, I got your leader for MVP. Okay. 2 weeks into a 7-month season.
Jump on it now.
All right.
Decent odds on Kyle Tucker.
Look, if Kyle Tucker wins this thing, he's going to call me back. Remember when you laughed at me? I didn't laugh at you. I laughed at your email. There's a difference. Isn't there?
I laughed at your thought process.
Did you see one shining moment? Did you watch it at the end of the broadcast last night?
No.
Who do you think was representing UNM?
Donovan Dent.
Of course. It's like I told you, man, there'd be a smiling Donovan Dent in there somewhere.
With the smiling David Vega in the background.
You had Magoon Guath with a block, representing San Diego State. And I think Colorado State was represented by getting beat on a buzzer beater by Maryland.
Hands on the head.
Just what the hell just happened here? Yes. Yeah, that was your Mount.
The tournament that the Lobos did play in, won a game in, battled Michigan State in, but feels like it was so long ago.
Doesn't it feel like it was so long ago? I mean, it feels like it was like years ago. And it was a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it does. It was 2 weeks, right? Because they went on Friday. Yeah, it was a little over 2 weeks ago.
Here we are. New era. Lobo basketball.
It's so insane how quickly things happen. All right, hoops tonight. You got some NBA stuff that you may want to take a peek at that's going to affect certainly what's going on in the West. The Clippers play tonight. The Warriors play tonight. Clippers play the Spurs. The Warriors are in Phoenix. Lakers and Thunder is a legit watch. That is I don't even know where it is, but it'll be somewhere tonight because it's Lakers and Thunder. And then Celtics and Knicks is an interesting watch too. Number 2 and 3 in the East. Knicks are just not good against the teams above them. They beat up on everybody else. But if you're into the East, I think that's a good watch too. That'll be a game on TNT. They're not putting the Lakers and Thunder on TNT tonight. They're putting the Warriors and Suns instead. How about that? Huh? No Luka, no LeBron, no. I mean,
I don't think they have flex scheduling.
Yeah, they don't. That's a 6 o'clock. That's a game in Oklahoma City. Tickets start at $57, JJ, if you want to hit it.
I'm down.
You want to go?
Let's hit the road.
That's actually a cool place to watch a game in Oklahoma City. They do a really nice job there. All right. Thank you to Kenny Thomas. He was with us today, the former Lobo great. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is next. Jim Rome Show is after that. 2 Men On steps in for a while at 4 o'clock. Then we go out to Sugarland, and Josh Sushan will crack the microphone, Isotopes, and Space Cowboys. JJ and I are back tomorrow morning. We'll start at 7 a.m. with award-winning radio then. Adrian, terrific work on the visuals. He is JJ Buck, and I'm Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From Pro